Hi, my name is Leonard, and this is my first year working at Wish Charter Middle School. And it's towards the end of the year, and everything's really starting to sink in, like the work I've been able to put in with the students I work with. One is Jack right here, and it's just amazing the opportunities that Wish gives him and that other schools really don't. We work in the classroom together with every other student. Jack isn't separated from his friends, and my job in the classroom is to work with Jack, so we're working together so that he does keep up with other students and he excels at everything he does. And a couple other students that I work with have not problems doing the work, but there's more, they just need that person that's going to be there in the classroom with them to kind of motivate them and tell them to keep going. And at another school, I could see people in the classroom might get frustrated by that, by constantly having to go over and say, hey, you can do this, or just keep focused, and staying positive when that student might not know how to really express themselves. Like, one of my favorite part about working in this field is that you never know what you're going to go into. Each day you walk into the classroom, one of my students could be having a really good day, and sometimes they could be having just a bad day, and sometimes that switches just in between periods. But just knowing myself and knowing the other paraprofessionals and knowing the teachers, just by us all being on the same page, when those situations do happen with our students, we all know how to react, and we know if they are having a bad day, we know how we aren't going to just put that student down and leave them there. Like, even their friends kind of catch on, and we're all there for that student to help them and guide them through their day to make sure they're able to keep learning and able to have the best experience possible inside this community. And
What do you think a big campus with a nice big building would give you that would help your job?
it would be amazing. It's
Start with a sentence that says, if we had our own campus.
so
Yeah.
if we had our own campus, it would be so beneficial to myself and all of our students, because we would for one be able to bring on more students to our school and help those kids kind of get a glimpse of what our students at Wish are able to see, and just that early experience with these kids, to be able to understand that there are other kids that do have different disabilities, and that it's okay to sometimes go up and say, hey, like, what's going on, and they're able to learn about these students. So with our own campus, that would be one key thing that I would like, is just being able to bring on more students, and just being able to have our own facilities would be great. For example, we have 2 different bathrooms, but only one of the bathrooms has one ADA stall, and that's a struggle for me and Jack, because sometimes if we go into the bathroom and the ADA stall isn't open, we have to struggle to try and get into one of these smaller stalls, and we can risk it's tough, but we get through it, and that's the Wish way. We get through it no matter what the situation is. And just maybe a changing room as well. We would be able to kind of get those things on campus and not have to wait for them. Yeah, because sometimes we might have a situation where we have to change Jack's clothes, and it's a struggle, again, being in that stall with no table to sit out, and that's really tough as well. And another thing would be the classroom size. Right now we have our office in one of our classrooms, which takes up more space, and at the same time we have, like, our printers are in the back, so it's kind of really cluttered, and sometimes me and Jack will have trouble getting in, and the kids are more than happy to sometimes move the tables if we have to get by, or move a chair if he has to squeeze in somewhere. But yeah, the space, that would be great to have a bigger classroom. That way we don't have to worry about any of that. We can just get in, get out. We sometimes have to leave class a little early just so we can make sure we get to the next class on time, and just little things like that. It would really help out if we had our own campus.
With the kids that you have who have some issues with behavior and like you were talking about with, one day they're having a good day and maybe the next day they're not. With the counseling situation, is there a space for them to have a nice quiet talk with the counselor or even with you when they are in a place that maybe they're struggling?
Yeah, right now that's pretty tough as well because we don't have a space where they could be in complete privacy where no one else can see them. A lot of times if students do have issues, we have a couple tables behind the classroom where they're away from everyone else, but you could still be passing by, and if your friends are walking by, they can still kind of see, and they might not know something is going on, but just not having that behind a closed door with the counselor and being able to go to a place that's completely one-on-one, that can be tough for some kids, especially those that are frustrated, and if you do want to talk to them, they don't want anyone else to see them or see that they are frustrated as well. So if we did have a space where either we could say, okay, let's go to this designated room, or the counselor can say, hey, let's go talk for a few minutes, I think that would be really beneficial.
And that's probably, that situation might even be more intense during high school years, do you think?
Yeah, definitely, because especially these kids are still developing and they're still trying to learn how to control their emotions, and this is their 8th grade year, so next year they're going to be introduced to a lot more issues that young teens go through, so they need to have somewhere. He's loud. He's a good teacher.
Yeah. All right, guys, thanks.